With such short time, yeah, I really must make haste. But I don't know what's ahead, or what the ending will bring. I just need to take a minute and then try again to take out the king. If I'm stuck, I'll call you with each stage I'll move through. Well, I know just a little more. Each step I load brings us closer to that old throne. If I'm stuck, I'll call you with each stage I'll move through. Well, I know just a little more. Each step I load brings us closer to that old throne. Well, here we are again. I've been here before, but I couldn't tell you when. Now every step I take is on the line, and each move right wipes out what's left behind. Well, here we are this time. It starts again, but I really don't know why. Hey, misplaced step, a single slip or fall. It's back to one dash one, I've lost it all. If I'm stuck, I'll call you with each stage I'll move through. Well, I know just a little more. Each step I load brings us closer to that old throne. So now I'll set the pace. With such short time, yeah, I really must make haste. But I don't know what's ahead, or what the ending will bring. I just need to take a minute and then try again to take out the king. If I'm stuck, I'll call you with each stage I'll move through. Well, I know just a little more. Each step I load brings us closer to that old throne.
Check 1 2. There we go. Check check. All right, cool. We got audio. Get my camera here. Is it this one? Alrighty, everybody. How are we doing? Let me get my camera up here. Oh, interesting. Sorry, folks. I'm working on the technical difficulties.
Well, here we are again.
Come on, camera, work. Come on, camera, work. Almost there. There we go. There's my face. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Oh my gosh. All right, let's make sure we have audio on here. Why does it always open at
This video is sponsored by
We
Yahoo.
got audio. All right. We are live with the Odd Man Out show. All right. We've got a lot to talk about today, folks, but the first thing we're going to do is take our happy pills because mental health is important. We're going to be talking all about layoffs today. It's gotten to that point where we got to figure out what, as a society or a community or a fucking industry, we're going to do, and we're going to solve that together. So I hope you guys are ready. Good morning. This is our coffee. All right, so here's the dealio, everybody. Welcome to the YouTube Live. Why people don't have fun at work is the trending topic. Love that. People don't have fun at work because they don't have a job. Cool. All right. So we're going to get right into it. I don't have many talking points, so I guess we're just going to take right to LinkedIn and see what the fuck's going on then. LinkedIn is a great place to find out who's getting laid off and why. But let's look at... Look, 8 minutes ago, our first post already. I still have my job today. I greatly appreciate so many people checking in on me and all the thoughtful messages. Yeah, so Blizzard, or not Blizzard, but Microsoft laid off pretty much everybody from Blizzard. So let's look up that one. Microsoft layoffs. Here we go. Microsoft lays off 1,900 staff from its video game workforce. So this is basically Microsoft came in, bought Activision Blizzard because Bobby Kotick is a douchebag and wanted a golden parachute. He exited, and now we've just seen that 1,900 staff members have been let go after their $69 billion acquisition. So where I'm kind of at with this is like, you know, they get bought for $69 billion, and then they say, Second company to ever break. All right. It's been 3 months since the Activision Blizzard team has joined us, meaning 3 months since we've owned them. And they need to align on strategy for sustainable growth and cost structure. So, just for shits and giggles, let's just like look at a game here because we know like Overwatch, they bought Overwatch, right? So they own Overwatch now. And let's see how much money did Overwatch 2 make in 2023. All right, so here we go. Blizzard forums. When was this written? 2 days ago. 50 million active users, $225 million in revenue. So $4.5 per player. If the players get less stuff than the company likes, excellent. I don't know. Forums are fucking busted. But $225 million in revenue. Announces second quarter. Here we go. Let's see. Press release. Second quarter 2023. Grew 50% year over year. Look, each income, second quarter operating income and segment operating income each grew over 70% year over year. So let's check out some numbers here. Now, again, this is second quarter of 2023. Second quarter of 2023. So you're looking at April 1st to June 30th, just for context here. So for context, they were seeing second quarter net bookings growing 50% year over year. Delivered its first $1 billion net bookings quarter, driven by the successful launch of Diablo 5. Right? Is it 5? 4. Sorry. I'm not good at Roman numerals. For the quarter ended June 30th, 2023, Activision Blizzard's net bookings were $2.6 billion as compared to $1.64 billion for the second quarter of 2022. So, as we can see, Activision Blizzard grew 50% year over year and was telling everybody that they were fine, right? So this is like actually the investor release. Like if you invest in Blizzard, this is what their investors get. This is public data. This is public knowledge. In the second quarter, Blizzard revenue grew 160% year over year. So as the end of the second quarter, Diablo 4 has sold through more units than any other release, right? In June, 700 million hours and retention type trends, blah, 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 blah. They're strong, right? So you're looking at last April 1st to June 30th, and they're saying that they're growing, right? 80% year over year, driven by the Activision segment grew 17% year over year in the second quarter, while operating income increased over 80% year over year, driven by growth across the Call of Duty social media, the Call of Duty franchise. Dude, like what we're seeing is that they are reporting on their year over years, and they're like, hey guys, look, like we're good. The numbers are good. So why are we having mass layoffs? Like Microsoft is just like, hey, these numbers aren't good enough for us, right? Like Microsoft. Now, mind you, Microsoft has only been owning these guys for like 3 months now. But after this report went out, we know that they've been talking about buying. So obviously this is like the numbers they were getting into. These are some of the numbers that are public. But like all I'm saying is balance sheet, right? Like not all I'm saying, but here's another example of like balance sheet. Cash and short-term investments at the end of the second quarter stood at $13.2 billion. And Activision ended the quarter with a net cash position of approximately $9.5 billion. So in their balance sheet, it looks like they've invested $13.2 billion. So they've invested that in just the second quarter. Or, at the end of the second quarter, it stood at. Their investments at the end of the second quarter stood at this. And then they ended the quarter with a loss, right? So they lose 4 billion, just about $4 billion in investments. Like, this is the interesting stuff that like nobody's talking about. So like they're making money and then they're taking the money and they're investing it in something, probably marketing or research and development. We don't know what they're investing it in. What I'm assuming is that these investments are going to Bobby Kotick's golden parachute, right? But all of the numbers just for Microsoft, right? Like we've laid off 1,900 workers from their workforce. So like, let's see. To the incredible teams at Blizzard, thank you. Words can't express how I feel about all of you. You're amazing. Continue to do incredible things. Right. But like, here's my problem. Nobody's going to continue to build incredible things for you if you're just going to fucking fire them at the end of the day. Right? Like, they came in, they bought Overwatch, Diablo, World of Warcraft. Like, they own all these, like, microtransactions. Call of Duty, right? Like, Microsoft can now own, or they own these AAA games and a huge market share of gamers. And they're still worried about growth year over year, more so than just making good games or making sure their people are taken care of, right? So, again, like, we're looking at, this was January 25th. Holy shit, this was yesterday. So, like, they laid off 1,900 employees just from Microsoft alone. Microsoft, TLDR, laid off 1,900 employees from their video game workforce. Probably, from what I'm guessing, mostly Activision Blizzard. From what I'm gaining in this article. So, and I'm going to link all these articles just so you guys know, like, in the podcast. This is going to be on a podcast, but if we link, there we go. I'm going to link this Microsoft article. All right. So that's one layoffs that we had, or one company that's already fucked over their employees, right? I have a UPS package scheduled. Oh, that's nice. No, I just got a nice message on LinkedIn, just for like speaking about what I'm speaking about. All right. So we have Microsoft. Microsoft stock right now. Microsoft stock right now, $405 a share, and it's been on an uptrend. Let's see here for the past month. Like, stock prices are increasing. So their company stock is going up. So growth is going up, but they're still laying off people so that this growth chart can continue to go up. Now, this is important because I know most people who follow me, like, don't give a shit. These are math. These are numbers. Like, this is business. But guys, you gotta like zoom out, right? Like, these companies are not losing money. They're gaining profit. They're gaining money. So we have to ask ourselves now, what is the output that they're looking for? Like, they're obviously looking for year-over-year growth. But let's talk about how you can maintain this year-over-year growth without any sacrifice, like without any degradation to your product, right? Like, there's no real business that can operate every single year at a growth. That's just impossible, right? Like, this is not a sustainable trend. Right? Like look at the last fucking year, dude. Like, they have this is pre-layoffs. So these are all like reporting growths. Microsoft stock upgraded on AI news, right? So like, they have other investments, but they're laying off their workforce and they're just going to automate with AI, and this number is going to keep going up. Right? So what do we do? I don't exactly know what the answer is. But it's just interesting to me, right? Like, correlations, everything goes up and to the right, except for employment. Microsoft employment stats. Let's see here. Let's see how many people they got. Number of employees, data sets. Like, I don't even trust most of these statistic websites, but at the end of the day, like 1,900 employees were laid off from 221,000 total. I mean, you're looking at a reduction of workforce. Like, these are unprecedented numbers. Microsoft is worth currently more than $3 trillion. $3 trillion, but they're not going to be able to keep people employed. So let's head to LinkedIn and see. Let's see how many Microsoft posts we see come up. And it's just like I've been connecting with, like, following more people, so you're not going to see as many like layoff posts because I hate seeing them. But most of these are bullshit. Like, none of these are even about it. I love it. But at the end of the day, guys, like, okay, so Microsoft lays off 1,900 staff, right? Like, that's just Microsoft. We're not talking, like, we haven't even talked about, like, Twitch, right? Like, let's go to the Twitch layoffs. And because Dan is too busy on Twitter answering people's OBS problems. He's not big enough of a person to come and talk to anybody of knowledge. Twitch laid off more than 500 employees. Dan Clancy announced this morning, reportedly accounting for around 35% of its staff. So Dan Clancy had to lay off 35% of his staff. And in March, Twitch also cut 400 roles as part of, like, a larger cut, right? So Twitch, chief product officer, customer officer, chief content officer, customer officer, they're all announcing that they're leaving the company. And probably because Clancy doesn't know how to fucking run a company, right? Hosting a stream to address these layoffs. So, like, let's see if this guy is even online. He's not, look, because he builds his own brand. Let's see what his last video was. Let's see what Dan's saying about layoffs. TwitchCon dates, location, Dan stream, like, patch notes. Where's your... I don't want patch notes. Where's your most recents, motherfucker? Ah, good old Dan. You know, we'll just go to Twitter because I've been laying into him there. So Dan's new strategy for growing year over year is to... Here he is. Dan's new growth strategy year over year is to take to Twitter answering questions for anybody above 10,000 followers and who works for a big time show. So Dan's on Twitter at 2:55 a.m. yesterday. The new Stream Together product on Twitch should work. You only have to copy, look on the left, DM me if you need help. So Dan's value is in hand DMing. Who's this guy? Forbes. He's the Tom Ward show on Forbes. So he's good with helping Tom Ward in a DM, but he's busy laying off his employees. Yeah, Dan, I don't know. Like, I'd love to get you on the podcast. And this is why I stopped streaming on Twitch. Like, I'm not going to stream on Twitch if it's just me. And I'm getting my streamers off of the platform because Dan also has the audacity to not only recommend streaming tools for his own company and hand DM them help, he also has the audacity to comment on Mr. Cohen, who's building a company. Imagine lacking the self-awareness after your startup fails to say, it was everyone else's fault. We ran out of money. And Dan Clancy says next time he should try to find an A-caliber founder and CEO. I hope that is his first hire. So, Dan, what I want to ask you is, what does an A-caliber founder and CEO look like? Please explain to me how you laid off 30% of your entire workforce, but you're going to tell me that the hirees are the problem. Right? So, Dan, again, I'm starting a conversation. All this man does is talk, right? Like, he doesn't fucking, like, is his salary worth this? Dan Clancy, nice to meet you. So this dude's just, like, spending time streaming in breweries, right? And it looks great from the outside, but it's all virtue signaling. Let's see if his, what's Dan Clancy's salary? Twitch executive salaries. the average Twitch executive compensation is $210,000 a year. So Dan Clancy is supposedly, and this is just through one search. Oh, my webcam dropped out. There it goes. I'm back. My whole hard drive just crashed. But again, this dude's making $210,000 a year. Yeah, this dude's making $210,000 a year. I'll link this. It's called Comparably. Dan Clancy's salary. But we laid off 33% or 30% of the workforce. Now, how many people did he lay off at Twitch? The most compensated executives make $427,000. Jesus Christ, Dan. This dude's making $200,000 a year to tell people to DM him, right? Like, this is not a sustainable business model. Can we agree that this is not how you're going to grow a brand? So Dan, that's enough of talking about your platform, because obviously Twitch doesn't want to innovate or evolve or, get, what the fuck? Obviously, you guys have no intention of giving a shit, right? So, like, let's see the Twitch. Twitch actually just did some updates that that apparently is their way of helping creators. Let's see here. New affiliate. Partner Plus is expanding. Oh boy, Partner Plus. Let's learn what an update to the streamer payouts program. Streamers and communities. Streamers in the communities you build are the foundation of Twitch. Okay, thanks, Dan. Appreciate you. They're going to expand. They have 3 announcements that they announced here with the partner with their announcements. So point number 1, they're expanding the Partner Plus program to give more streamers access to increased net revenue shares on paid and gifted subs. So we're going to look at what that means. Number 2, they're eliminating the $100,000 cap for the 70-30 net revenue split revenue share recipients. And number 3 is they're changing the Prime Gaming subscription payout model to a fixed rate for each country. So to expand the Partner Plus program, they're adding new levels. So basically, and I'll link this article to you guys as well. This is Twitch's blog, Partner Plus. Basically, there's going to be 2 levels. Level 1 is like you get a 60-40 revenue split, and level 2 is you get a 70-30. And basically, you have to get plus points to get the. You just have to jump through more hoops to get more of the revenue share for the content that you create. So basically, what they're saying is our partners didn't make us enough money. We need to bring in some affiliates to make us more money, more streamed revenue. We're going to give them a little bit more money, but more hoops to jump through, because that's going to increase daily active users, right? They're going to say, okay, Danny's going to stream more now because he's going to try for this 70-30, right? So in total, it allows 3 times as many streamers to have premium. But it also, they're not saying here, has 3 times the exposure for Twitch to make their kickback. They're making their 40% and their 30% off of content that they've never come up with, and all they're doing is hosting a live streaming service. Now, let's talk about point number 2. So point number 1 is they expanded the Partner Plus program to triple the amount of people who can make money through this program, meaning Twitch can triple the amount of income they can make. Now, part number 2 of the initiative they're doing is eliminating the 100K cap. Most people don't ever even know about this, because less than 1% of Twitch's population even get to this level where they are partner. So they're removing some cap. Like if you had a 70-30 split, after reaching 100K annually, the revenue would revert to a 50-50 split. Right? But nobody's making 100K besides less than like 0.3% of the Twitch streamers. They realize that this payout model doesn't work because people are going to burn out before they reach there. And again, the revenue share would revert to a standard of 50%. Like if they hit $100,000, then Twitch would then just take more money, which made no sense, because the incentive for a streamer, they're like, I'll make my 100K, but then I'm going to get out, because you're losing another 20% to Twitch. For what? Because you did better Twitch took more money. So they eliminated the 100K cap. That's a good change. But again, this impacts less than 1% of Twitch's current streaming population. This does nothing for the little guys. If you are an affiliate or not affiliate, this doesn't fucking matter. There's still no discoverability. There's still nobody out there helping you grow your brand. And this has nothing to do with you. So this doesn't triple your help at getting monetized. So now Prime members get a monthly token. We know if you have Amazon Prime, they're owned, you can get a free gifted sub. They're going to change the rates, obviously. All of this to say is that every month they're saying over 1 million streamers earn money from streaming on Twitch, right? That may be true. Over 1 million streamers earn money. But over 1 million Twitch payouts go back to Twitch. Every time one of those streamers is making money, Twitch is making a kickback. A huge kickback. More kickback than most agencies take from their clients to manage a singular client. Twitch is they're taking more of your revenue from your content than a talent manager would. They're taking 30%, 40% of the money you make on your content. That is absurd. Okay, just as somebody, like if you ever had an agent and they wanted to take 40% of your income or 50% of your streamed revenue, that's a fucking scam. And Twitch is publishing this. So that's the update on these the streamer payout programs that they're talking about. It looks good if you're a streamer not making money, but when you really zoom out, their goal isn't to make you make more money. Their goal is to open up their partner program so that more streamers can make nickels and dimes so that they can continue to trickle in their nickels and dimes, right? The best way to combat this is to say fuck Twitch and figure out a way to monetize your community, like sell merch, create a paid community, like, I don't know, host your own live streams. Twitch is taking 40% of your stream revenue. Twitch is taking 40%. And think about it this way. If you stream 1 day a week and it costs them, actually, let's take this back. If you stream at all, you're paying Twitch to stream. You're paying in your time, you're paying in your content, and then you're paying them a portion of money that your client, your fan wanted to give to you. They're charging you to use their platform. Now, it's free to use, but they're charging you once you make money. But Dan makes $210,000 a year. And every time you sell a gifted sub, if you sell a sub to a person, Dan gets more money. Cool? So that's Twitch. That's the Partner Plus updates. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy that we're still in a world. Look, 10 million followers and people like, this is just not good. Our leaders are lost. Like, this isn't a dub. This is like, it looks like a dub, but this is nothing more than just like, they're packaging their consumers. Like, you are still you're still their consumer. Like, you're still their product. If you're on Twitch, you are their product. Like, if you're using Twitch, you are the product. I hate to break this to you guys, but the viewers of Twitch are the product, and Twitch is monetizing you guys. So when you are upset that your creators are getting laid off or their engineers or Twitch engineers are getting laid off, it's when you pay sub money through Twitch's payment program, you're giving Twitch money, and you're telling them that this is okay. And it's simply not okay. So my recommendation for anybody looking to stream would be get off of Twitch. Some of my creators are on there, but I tell people to get off, go to YouTube, go to Kick, go to Rumble. I don't give a fuck where you go. All of these platforms you're their product if you sign up for it, but find a place that is not going to take 30 to 40% of your income. 30 to 40% of your income, if you made $100,000, Twitch gets 40,000 of that. And then you still have to pay the taxes on the 100,000. So it's like it's masquerade, it's virtue signaling disguised as doing good for a community, when in reality this is all just upside for Twitch. Right? Look, they announced TwitchCon. Like, can we stop going to this? Like, you're not going to network and meet anybody from Twitch who's going to give you partnerships. This is not worth it, in my opinion. And then going back to it, Dan Clancy. is making $210,000. Wow. Hmm. Um, yeah, I mean, there's just like lots of doom and gloom, guys. Like the gaming space. I mean, every industry in creative is falling apart in a way, and it's because of like a myriad of reasons. But at the end of the day, it's corporate greed got in the way. We think we have to produce 1,000 pieces of content every day, and we don't. We need to get back to making authentic connections and and actually building a fucking product. Like you have to build something that solves a problem. Even if you're a content creator, what is the problem that you solve as a content creator? For some of us, it's like the problem you solve is just being somebody's friend. If you're live streaming in your company and you're talking, that's perfectly fine. But you need to know what you provide of value for somebody to want to watch you. Nobody's going to watch you because somebody told you you need to be an influencer. So you think that, right? But YouTube and Twitter and social media, they are here to make you want to grind for their platform, right? I'm on YouTube giving them free content right now. I've been streaming for 40 minutes for free, and YouTube's going to put the ads in front of this video that I don't get. I'm not monetized, right? So even now, I'm a product for Google, right? Like I'm bringing them ad dollars. So the question we have to ask, get this Twitch shit off my page. The question we have to ask is like, what do we do? What do we do now, right? Like, what can you do? Because everybody's going to tell you that shit is happening, but like nobody's going to give you any answers. There's a lot of things you could do. The first thing, I don't like, it's always going to depend like where you're at. Are you employed? Are you not employed? Are you getting laid off? Have you not been laid off? Even if you haven't been laid off, but your friends have, that's like a tough life circumstance that happens. So you have to process, right? Like everybody's processing this, but at the end of the day, if you believe that the leaders that are out there, whether at Twitch, Microsoft, Bill Gates, Dan Clancy, whoever the fuck you want to talk about, any of these leaders from the past 10 years, if you think any of them have your interest as a creator at heart, just know that all of their actions say differently. Okay? I want people, creators or not, I want people to start questioning more of these posts. Like when Dan Clancy or Twitch says the economy is going up and the creator economy is blasting off, like question it. If everybody's getting laid off and they're saying that the jobs are like we're at the lowest unemployment rate in history, who the fuck is lying? Everybody who got laid off or the president of the United States who tweeted that the unemployment rate is the lowest we've ever seen? Like, dude, everybody is blatantly lying to you. And what you can do is verify everything yourself. And the second thing you do is take ownership of your own content. If you don't have content, start making content. Once you start making content, figure out how quickly you can own your content. And by owning your content, I mean use the social media platforms as a tool to distribute out your message. But you need to bring your community to a localization, like to a spot. Preferably a landing page of your own that you own, a website, a newsletter. This is a post for Beehive. Owning an audience. To own an audience, all you need is an email address and a name. What you can start doing today, whether you're laid off, still have a job, doesn't matter, is start sharing your experiences. Start talking about what you know and what you love. And if you don't know what that is, start talking, start posting, start formulating theses, start formulating hypotheses, right? Like you don't know what you're good at until you start making shit. But if you're working for some douchebag who's underpaying you, or you're worried about being laid off, or you're listening to literally what everybody on social media tells you to do about growing your own brand, you will fail, because this is just the next level of creating the producing class. Okay, so we had public education. They teach you how to be a good worker on the assembly line. Check the boxes, don't question anything. And it's the same for social media. You go to YouTube, you type in how to be an influencer. They tell you all of this stuff that won't make you an influencer, but it's the perpetual chase of becoming something that they tell you you need to be that is going to disappoint you. So own your audience. Start talking about what you love. Get your mom and dad to sign up for your email newsletter. Go to Beehive. I'm not even sponsored. There's no link for this. Go to Beehive, start a newsletter, and start posting on any of the platforms that you like, but just assume that those platforms will die. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I wanted to stream and like bring some sort of to hope to the industry, but every time I've spoken out, um, I am met with resistance from people who would rather defend those who have made the incorrect business choices. It is disappointing to me that the creator economy would rather tell me that it is not leadership's problem, that we are supposed to be laying these people off. This is not normal. Stock prices should not be increasing for the shareholders while employment rates decrease for the working people. You should not be making thumbnails for Mr. Beast for $1,000, even $2,000 if he receives streaming residual income off of every video you ever make. If you edit a video for me and that video generates $1 million in revenue, you should own a piece of that content. That's what I believe. My answer for this, it's going to be a tough 2 years, but my answer is figuring out what your message is, figuring out what problem you solve in the world, no matter how large or how small you think it is. You have to own your own destiny. If you work for any employer, you're on the chopping block. And I'm not here to doomsay, but like the world's changing. Everything is going to change rapidly over the next 3 years. And we can either continue following our leaders off of a cliff. I'm telling you, I've been in the game of social media for long enough now to tell you, they are leading us off of a cliff. The train is going 1,000 miles per hour, and their plan is to pull the e-brake at the last minute so that the front stays off on the cliff, and the whole fucking caboose is gonna slide off of it. We are at the end of the caboose. We're the bag holders. We're the creators. We're the ones who have been powering the steam engine. We're the coal in the back of the train at the caboose that they've been shoveling and putting to the front to power. And now that steam engine is rolling out, or it's rolling it's careening towards the end of a cliff with your leaders at the front, and their plan is to pull the emergency brake, right? Golden parachutes, stock price increase, happy shareholders. But the caboose is going to careen off the edge. They will have a golden parachute and you will not. You need to take control of your own destiny and your own well-being in 2024. Don't listen to me. Don't blindly listen to me. Don't blindly listen to any of your mentors. Don't blindly listen to anybody. The president, an alien, your boss. We need to start questioning what information we're being told and checking it against real data. And I'm not talking about marketing data, and I'm not talking about smudging numbers to make your social show look bigger. We need to start being honest. If your content isn't popping off, it's not the algorithm, right? It's you. If you're streaming on Twitch and not making any money and not growing, it's not Dan Clancy's fault. It's your fault, right? He's not going to make you famous. Bill Gates is not going to make your job pay you more. You have to take the reins of your own life. The best way to do that is by owning your own community. If you play guitar, start talking about playing guitar. If you like to underwater basket weave, go start talking about it. In the next 1 to 2 years, AI and technology and corporate greed is going to drive the division wider and wider between the working class and the higher echelon. And if we do not, I mean this, and I'm 29, if we, our generation, sub 40 years old, if you're under the age of 40 and under, it is our responsibility. It is our duty to question these leaders. It is our duty to hold them accountable. If Dan has to tweet again that he lays off workers, that's twice. When does Dan get laid off? Right? Nadeshot has laid off thousands of 100 Thieves employees. I mentioned that, and every ex-employee jumped to Nadeshot's defense. You, as the creators, are holding these leaders up on your own shoulders. Every time you attack somebody who's defending the creator or the maker, and you're trying to protect the employer or the leader, you're undermining the hard work that very few of us are trying to achieve. Nobody, I don't care who is telling you this, nobody is going to come save us. It is our responsibility. If you don't like the way a company treats its employees, show them by stop buying their shit. We know that Activision Blizzard employees had a Bill Cosby room, and we play their game. We know that this phone was made by child labor, but we will tweet on this phone and yell at each other for layoffs, right? Like, it's the people in power that you're defending that are causing this. So we need to wake up as a society, and I'm making a call to action to any creators or makers out there. When I'm mouthing off and asking for accountability, it's nothing personal. I have nothing personally against Dan. I think he makes too much money for what he does. Or Nadeshot. I think Matt from 100 Thieves was like a huge inspiration to me. And it really disappointed me after following him for so long that he just said, you know what? All of these people built my empire. I'm happy with where I've peaked. And now he's okay with just letting it sit. And I'm happy that he's having a kid. And I'm happy he has a family. But one day he decided that his priorities shifted. And that negatively impacted hundreds of employees. And it's not to invalidate Nadeshot's choice to spend time with his family. It's to say that you need to think long-term enough as a leader. And for yourself, even if you're not a leader, if you're just leading, if you're an employee or unemployed, I don't care. You are in charge of yourself and your well-being. And if somebody mistreats you, I hope you stand up. And I know you need severance, and I know you need money, and I know NDAs are going out, and people are not getting they're not getting their severances unless NDAs are paid. Let me tell you something. The $2,000 to $7,000 in severance you'll get, any YouTuber that you were working for makes that in 30 minutes or less, right? Mr. Beast can bring that in 5 seconds. So you could have worked for Mr. Beast for 5 years, and he lays you off, and he will sign you to silence for $7,000, but you can't talk about your experience and how they just changed their mind for fear of blacklisting, blue balling, not getting their severance. They're holding money over your head. That's what I'm trying to fight against, and that's what I'm working for. So I apologize to anybody I've pissed off, but any founder or CEO who I've publicly called out, I'm not apologizing for calling you out. A leader to me is somebody who takes care of their people, because their people are building a dream for me, right? Like, as a leader of a company with no employees, if I do hire, it's my responsibility to make sure that that employee is set and taken care of. And my job as a founder is to mitigate as much of the risk as humanly possible. Our leaders have shown us that they would rather stand on the backs of their creators, use them for as long as they can, juice them, and then the minute the shareholders want a little bit more year-over-year growth, they just fire you. And you don't own any of the IP. You can't share that you made it, and you can't talk about the creative process because you signed your NDA. Yeah, I'm not giving up, but I am saying that it's going to take more than just one loudmouth on a live stream that people call an asshole to make a change. And I know I'm doing it bluntly, and I need help. I need people who are nicer than me and softer than me and more compassionate. But we need to come together and seriously think about the new system that we want to build. Do we want to continue going down this path of layoffs and creators being abused and corporate greed? Or do we want to come together, sit down, and create the new system we want to live in? I'm down to have the conversation. I don't have the answers for that, but I feel like you could get the top 200 YouTubers to come together and they would have a much better political, get like 200 fucking YouTubers to run the country. Let's try it for 4 years. I don't care at this point, but we will go extinct as a species. And I believe this. This is not me being, it's not hyperbole. I firmly believe, this is the first time I think I've said this, I firmly believe that if we maintain this path and we have as many layoffs as we've been having, and we continue to not hold these leaders accountable, and we keep propping them up on our backs and defending them for laying us off and for not taking ownership of our own IP, it is my belief that we as a species will go extinct. When people start going hungry, they get desperate. And right now, everybody's helping each other and being nice. But what happens when everybody's hungry? And the only moneymaker that the economy can think to produce more income is the war machine. If we don't hold our leaders accountable and start firing them for year-over-year growth, right? Like that's not the objective we should be looking for, obviously, right? Like we need to take care of our people and build a strong foundation. If our people go hungry, we will be weak. The world is in a fragile place. And I believe we have two potential paths here. We, as a society, take accountability and we hold these people accountable and we take action, or we keep doing doublespeak, niceties, and not being truthful with each other and propping up these leaders who are false leaders, false messiahs, gurus, agency owners. Shut down the award shows, shut down the superfluous spending. If you're working at a company where they're flying out 100 employees every month, ask them about their financials. Take charge of your destiny. That's all I have for today. I don't want to have to cut too long of a podcast together, so this is my podcast for today. It's a new format. I want to start doing some more solo talking. For those audio listeners, if I do put this on Spotify, just so you know, I'll link all the articles below so you can read, so you can read any of the data and research that I kind of proposed here. And I would love to have a conversation. So Dan, if you see this, I mean, like, dude, I'm not going to fucking scream at you, but like I feel like somebody needs to have a real conversation with you. Like I would love to see you talk to somebody who's not one of your influencers or even any of your streamers. I would love to see you talk to somebody who's not on your platform, because I think you surround yourself with enablers. And I would love to see you talk to either the people at Kick or the people at Rumble or the people at Facebook Live or TikTok Live. Dan, I would love to see you talk to anybody outside of your own echo chamber. I challenge you as a CEO and a leader. I challenge you to get the fuck off of Twitter and live streams for 1 month and take care of your people. I'm going to make sure your people start defending themselves, but you need to take a look inside. And leaders like you. Seriously. All right, gang. Well, that's all I have for you today. Enough doom and gloom. If you like the podcast, make sure to give it a 5-star review. I will edit this up in post. If you don't know where to start with content, drop a follow. Odd Man Out Studios is here to help you guys build your brands for free. I don't charge for this. Just listen to the podcast. I've been doing it for 10 years. The advice I'm giving you is from stats, figures, and statistics from 10 years in the industry. And I haven't applied for another job because I know it won't be there. Even if I get it, I'm just telling you guys. Start building your brands. Stop relying on other people. Become self-sovereign. Question everything. I will see you guys on the next one.
Well, here we are again. I've been here before, but I couldn't tell you when. Now every step I take is on the line, and each move right wipes out what's left behind. Well, here we are this time. It starts again, but I really don't know why. A misplaced step, a single slip or fall. It's back to one dash one, I lost it all. If I'm stuck, I'll call you in. Each stage I'll move through. Well, I know it's a little more. Each step alone brings us closer to that old throne. So now I'll set the pace. With such short time, yeah, I really must make haste. But I don't know what's ahead, or what the ending will bring. I just need to take a minute and then try again to take up the king. If I'm stuck, I'll call you in. Each stage I'll move through. Well, I know it's a little more. Each step alone brings us closer to that old throne. must make haste. But I don't know what's ahead, or what the ending will bring.